Well, hello, and happy Sunday evening, everyone. This is Dr. Daphne, and I am coming to you live, up close and personal. I am on Facebook Live on my personal page, and I'm also on my TikTok live broadcast as well. So, although I wanted to also go live on Instagram, I have to figure that out. I have not figured it out yet, and I am not going to let that prevent me from going live. So, I made a commitment yesterday with my coach that I will go live for at least an hour on Facebook each and every day as the time leads up to the Claiming Your Why and Soul Purpose Summit, which is coming up on July the 24th. It's live in Atlanta, Georgia, and also virtual. Tickets are on sale. Check out my social media pages. Check out my Instagram. Yes, Instagram is social media too. Check out my TikTok. And someone sent me an invitation for Clubhouse, so I will be setting up my Clubhouse either later on tonight or tomorrow. So if you did not catch yesterday's broadcast, please go ahead and catch that. Yesterday I spoke for an hour, and the topic I spoke on was, when was the last time you showed up for yourself? When was the last time you showed up for yourself? I had a few people join me live, and I was excited about that. Tonight, I will be speaking on tips for better self-care. Tips for better self-care. I don't know about you, but as a mother, friend, and I used to be a wife at one time or another, there were times when I neglected myself. And I know more than ever before that there are many women who are still doing that. They neglect themselves and they keep doing for others. So, for my friends over on TikTok, I will not be able to co-host with anyone who invite me because, as I said, I'm on 2 platforms. So already let me explain why. I am on Facebook Live, and I'm also live on TikTok. So I will go back and I will see the comments later on. So just invite your friends, participate in the conversation, and I know that if it's even one nugget, you will be getting, because as my supporters tell me all the while, Dr. Daphne, you're always dropping the mic. Always dropping the mic. So I give the Spirit credit for that. And the other thing, the only thing I can take credit for is that I am becoming more obedient in showing up and allowing the Spirit to work through me unapologetically and unashamed. So, if I'm dropping the mic, it's just because I am showing up willing to be used. So, tips for greater self-care. Tips for greater self-care. So I would encourage you to grab your journal as I go through these steps and make a note. I mentioned at the top of the hour that I will be going live at least an hour every day leading up to the Claiming Your Why and Soul Purpose Summit, which is happening on July the 24th, live in Atlanta, Georgia at the Piedmont Park, and virtually. That means it is also available to you wherever you are. And the event is on Eventbrite, and you can check it out, Claiming Your Why and Soul Purpose. All right? You're going to be seeing some of the faces that you're accustomed to be seeing on TikTok. You're going to be seeing some of them on the lineup for speakers. And I'm excited about that, to see that there are people who believe in the work that I'm doing and willing to collaborate and to support and show forth their expertise to make a difference in your lives. So, tips for better self-care. The first thing I would like for you to make a note about, and this is not in the numbers that I'm going to tell you, but I want you to note, you can write that right across your page that you are taking note on. The first thing I want you to be fully aware of is that you will only be in a position to take better care of yourself when you understand what it means to give from your overflow. Always give from your overflow, not from your full cup. Because if you continue giving from your full cup, that's where burnt out and stress and all of that comes from. So put that across the top of your page. Only give from my overflow, not from my full cup. All right? Write that as big and as bold as you can see it. And you go underneath and you highlight it. All right? And the other thing, ladies, it is okay to take care of yourself. Go ahead, jot your name on Facebook, jot your name in the comments section so I know who is joining. And please go ahead and share with other people and invite them in as well. All right? So, if you're just joining, we are talking about tips for better self-care. And I just mentioned that you should practice to give from your overflow, never from your full cup. Because giving from your full cup causes stress, burnt out, and sometimes even depression as well. All right. So, mental health. Mental health. Now more than ever before, mental health disorder is on a rise. And there are a lot of reasons why this is happening. We are in a pandemic. People are cooped up inside. People are out of work. The children are home with all of the extra work with parents aren't equipped to handle. So mental health is on the rise. I want you to know that it is all right to go out and ask for help. There is no shame in it. And the other thing I want to let you know, you probably think you are the only one. Hello? You are not the only one that is going through this. So please, do not isolate yourself. And listen, I know some people are so programmed that they can only go to their pastors for help. No, no, no. There are professionals out there that you can go to. So don't get caught in the programming that you can only go to your pastor or your personal or your spiritual leader. Let me tell you something. Many of those pastors and spiritual leaders need help too. And everybody keeps going to them. Who are they going to? So don't be adding extra load to them. Go out and seek professional help. If you don't know, find one or two persons that you can confide in and ask them to point you in the right direction where you can get help for your mental health. Especially if you're a parent and if you're a single parent. You need help. So the first tip is to look after your mental health. Doing so, it's not selfish. Doing so allows you to be selfless. And it helps you to prepare yourself for all of the other people who are looking to you, a significant other, your job, your children, and the list goes on. The next tip I want to give you about better self-care is body detox. Body detox. B-O-D-Y detox. I recall growing up in Jamaica as a child. They used to give us something called washout every 3 months. My apologies for getting so graphic with this. But they would give us senna pod tea and Indian root pill on a Sunday. And that thing would go through us. It was not until I became an adult. I became an adult. How are you? I am broadcasting on my Facebook as well. So if you want to hang around and listen, it's okay. I am speaking on tips for better self-care. But seeing that I'm doing it for an hour, I decided I would go live on my TikTok as well. So I am not responding to comments on there. But would you like to listen in? Would you like to listen in? Okay. He's bobbing his head. Guys, no, I was talking to someone that invited me on my TikTok. My name is Daphne and I am in Connecticut. I notice we are not friends, but thanks for inviting me If you connect with me, I will connect with you afterwards. So, body detox is another step. The first tip I gave was about mental health and how to maintain that. Focus on giving from your overflow, not from your full cup. Because when you give from your full cup, that causes depression and stress and all of that. So always maintain an overflow that you can give from that. Now we are on the second one, which is detox. Body detox. Depending on your culture, you're accustomed to different things. And when I speak about detox, I'm talking about spiritual and physical detox. Alright? There are many things, like some people will immerse their legs in like salt solution, and that will pull the toxin out of their body. There are people who will also have a large amount of anti-inflammatory foods in their diet. So go through and see what you're eating. How can you maintain the detoxification of your body? Those of you who are frequent with me on my TikTok, you know that every morning we do the water therapy. And the water therapy is also another means of maintaining your body detoxification. The teas, the herbal teas that you drink, the amount of water that you drink. So stay away from carbonated sodas and things like that. Always make sure you are drinking the right amount of water. I think it was about 9 years ago, I began greatly ingesting, like 90% of my food intake are raw foods. Prior to doing this, the only thing I used to consume as raw foods were lettuce, tomato, cucumbers, and fruits. It was not until I went out for an event in California that I learned about the extent to which you can consume raw foods. And there, I'm not going to get into the depth of that, but because there is so much information on Google that you can find out there. And those of us who are from like the Caribbean islands and other places like that, we know that we did not grow up eating a lot of meats and that. We ate a lot of vegetables and those things. And we are accustomed to be eating fresh fruits that's a harvest from the tree and things like that. So, to detoxify, go back to your roots, guys. Do the things that you're accustomed to be doing. Don't get too highfalutin and sophisticated that you forget the things that you did when you were young or in your poor state of life. You remember when we were growing up and we didn't have a lot of the XYZs. We used to do the all natural things, and that's what kept us healthy. So maintain a proper detoxified body. The next thing I want to talk to you about as it pertains to better tips for health is deep breathing. As a race, we stop breathing properly. It is so important to breathe from way down in the diaphragm. Breathe deeply. We are breathing too shallow. There are so much benefits from breathing properly. For those of you who are always accustomed to bickering and getting into conversation that's unpleasant, if you just learn to take a deep breath, And the time you take to do that, you won't have to answer in anger. It helps you to calm down. So practice. Sometimes you are at the traffic light and you're late for work and you keep going and you know what you're saying. You're giving somebody the finger. Instead of doing that, spend that time breathing. Deep breathing. Deep breathing will extend our years. Many, many years. You can check it out on Google and you can see what research says about people who practice deep breathing and how many years over they are living. So make sure you're practicing deep breathing activities. The next thing I want to talk to you about is spending time outdoors. Now, it's a good thing we just ditched the mask because we have been cooped up inside for over a year. So, go outside. Enjoy the sun. You know that the best vitamin D we can get comes from the sunlight. So go outside, walk around and get some sun. It is going to boost your vibration, it is going to boost your energy, and it is also going to get you extra vitamin D. We know vitamin D capsules are very expensive, but we can get vitamin D out in the sunlight, and we can also get vitamin D from some foods. So, do your research, find out what foods are high in vitamin D, and start consuming some of that. Do you have any questions for me since I take a break? Research says, it tells you, calculate it based on your body weight. And I tend to stick with that rule too for my clients. Do the research, it's out there. Maintain what it says about your body weight. And do that. Okay, but very, very good question. Very good question. Hi, Brianna. I see Brianna up there. All right, I'll be coming back to you. So very good question. The guys over on Facebook, the gentleman in who invited me for co-hosting, he asked about the water and what amount is adequate. So I follow the research, and it says what it says: double your body weight, whatever it says. Just go by that, and guess what? A little extra doesn't hurt. And now the teaching is encouraging us to drink a lot of alkaline water, because cancer cells does not like alkaline system. So that's another broadcast for another time. So the outdoors, the sunshine. Go outside, walk in the sunshine. Another thing about the outdoor. I don't know if you ever walk barefooted. Let me tell you something. There is so much benefit from walking barefooted. It helps us grounded. Now we're so sophisticated and everywhere we go we have shoes on. But if at all possible, when you can, kick those shoes off and walk barefooted. I have a friend in Danbury, Connecticut, and his mother lived, they are Indians, his mother lived to be more than 100. And that lady used to walk 7 miles every day, barefooted. even in her old age, she was walking barefooted. And let me tell you something, when you walk barefooted and you feel that dirt and thing, it does something to your system. And it helps to ground us. So, when you can do that, I want you to attempt to do that. So, we went through what? Mental health. Before I touched on mental health, I reminded you to always give from your overflow, not from your full cup. The next thing I talked about was body detoxification. Then I spoke about deep breathing, and I mentioned in detoxification about the water, the amount of water, drinking water, and spending time outside. Now, this one, I'm telling it to the sisters. Why I am singling out the sisters? Hey, I wear the costume of a woman. And I'm telling you from what I know. Women, come close. Listen to me. Sisters, stay away from gossip. Stay away from gossip. That is so poisonous to your body. Do not get entangled into gossip. It's damaging to your mental health. It's damaging to your entire being. If somebody comes to you with a story, ask them to bring the person. If they refuse to do that, shut it down. I don't want to hear it. If what you are telling me you can tell me in front of the person, don't tell me at all. Stay away from gossip. It is poisonous. It is damaging. It destroys people. It destroys relationships. It destroys your health. So stay away from gossip. The next thing about tips for a better self-care. Know your truth. Not somebody else's truth. Yours. What's your truth? What are the things that you support? What are your morals and values? Yes, we are all born into certain families. But trust me, you become a teenager, you get to middle school, you start having a mind of your own. So what are some things that you now acquire for yourself? What are some new beliefs that you have? What are your truths? Because not everything that you born into is the right thing. Are you courageous enough to begin your own pattern by challenging the things that you were born into? Are you bold enough to respectfully say to your elders, your parents, your grandparents, I have a question about XYZ. I've always heard you say this, that, and the other. Explain it to me. Explain it to me. And as I say this, I want to share a story. I once heard a lady share this story about roasting a ham. She always cut off the narrow part of her ham. And somebody, one of her children, asked her, Ma, why you always cut off the bottom part of your ham? She says, I don't know. I always saw my mother cut it off. So I cut it off too. So the daughter was curious. So the daughter called her grandmother, asked the grandmother why she cut off the bottom part of the ham. And she said, I don't know. My mother used to cut it off, so I cut it off. And guess what? She was eager to learn. And she called her great-great-grandmother. It was a blessing that the grandmother was alive. And guess what, guys? She was the only one who knew why she cut off the bottom part of the ham. The reason she cut off the bottom part of her ham because her baking dish was too small for the length of the ham. But guess what? All of the other women, they had not asked the question. And although they had a bigger size pan, they still cut the ham, not knowing why they cut it. So in order to know what your truths are, you have to challenge, you got to ask questions. And some of these questions will be unpleasant. But you have to have the courage. You got to build the fortitude to ask these questions. Because unless you're willing to do that, you're going to pass this on to your children and your children's children. So you got to tell yourself, the buck stops here. And I'm going to begin to put a new spin on my truth, know my truth, and know what I'm passing on to my children. The next tip to a better self-care is to avoid judgment. Not because something is new to you, you have never seen it, you have never heard about it, that does not make it wrong. Different, new, and strange does not equal to wrong. We got to get into the habit of asking powerful questions. What happens when we ask powerful questions? We get powerful answers. But we have not been getting answers because we refuse to ask questions. This is why there's so much hate going on in the world that we help to occupy now. People speak different language from us. They have different hair texture. The seasoning in their food smell different. And all of a sudden, we begin all this judgment and hatred towards them. So much so till we're beating them up on the street. We need to rise up out of that. It will take you and I as individuals to make a difference. We don't need to wait on the government to do it. We need to do it right in our local areas. Let us begin to wipe out all the judgment. Let us begin to get rid of the prejudice. Let us begin to understand and love each other, because this is the most powerful thing that we could do to better our self-care. Because, ladies and gentlemen, not until we start to love ourselves that we are going to understand about living and loving others. Are you able to look in that mirror, eyeball to eyeball? Look at that person who is looking back at you. And you can say, Daphne, I know you mess up today. But I know you can turn that around. I know that what you did today is really not who you are, but it's a reaction to an experience. Are you willing to step back and learn the lesson so that you are able to move on? We got to be willing to be vulnerable. We can only begin to take care of ourselves in the deepest state of vulnerability. We can't keep sugarcoating. We can't keep covering up, because nothing, absolutely nothing, happens when you're in that state of naive. So, what are you willing to do to enhance your self-care? Are you willing to expose yourself? Are you willing to be naked? Are you willing to strip down? What are you willing to do? At this time, I did 36 minutes in. I'm speaking for an hour, so I'm going to pause and I'll take some questions from I have somebody on live. Let me scroll through and see if any of my, thanks for the follow. Somebody follow me. Thank you so very much. I always love new friends. Anybody on your side have any question for me, my brother? Yes, sir. Thank you. So, anybody have a question? Yes. I got to tell you, I have been on this journey. What's your first name? Peyton. Brother Peyton. I've been on this journey for 25 years plus. I've not always been obedient. Just yesterday I was on a podcast and I was talking about the same thing. For years, as a matter of fact, the person I was on her podcast, she knew me for 10 years. And 10 years ago, when I spoke at the event, she was the technical person for. I reminded her, I said, you remember when I spoke on this topic? I spoke on claiming your why in business. And we both laughed because for many years, I sugarcoat my purpose and calling. Why? Because it wasn't sexy and it wasn't the religious things to do. So I shied away from it. It wasn't until the Spirit put me flat on my back in the hospital, once with a small intestines obstruction, the other time with a stroke. And the Spirit said to me, when you get out of this hospital, you do me unfiltered and unapologetic. I knew what the Spirit was talking about. I know I was not a coach about claiming your why in business. I knew I was a coach about your soul purpose. Why were you called here? Why were you born into this life? I know that is what I was created to be. And I came out, Brother Peyton, and I said, hey, I ain't going back to hospital, not for that reason. I'm going to be obedient. And I came out. I stripped my brand, and I say I'm rebranding. I'm walking into the calling and the purpose of what I am called to do. A friend of mine who knew me for 4.5 years over on Periscope called me up the last week in November, and she said, you need to be on TikTok. I said, and what? She said, TikTok. I said, what's that? And she explained about TikTok. She said, the people over there need you and need what you do, because since I have met you, you have changed my life and my family's life. I said, okay, if you think I'm needed, tell me what to do. And she helped me to set up the account. And here I am today. People are telling me they are resonating with my message. I am making a difference in their life. And this is what I am showing up to do. On the 24th of July, we are doing the Claiming Your Why and Soul Purpose Summit in Atlanta, live in person in Atlanta. It is also virtual. And I told my coach yesterday, I'm making the commitment to go live at least an hour on Facebook every day leading up to the summit, because a lot of people, they don't know me. They see me come on here, and every day I do the gratitude video journal. But I figure by coming on and speaking about these different areas of my expertise, give people a little look inside of what I'm capable of doing. So I hope that answers your question. I don't drink it. You mean the faucet water, right? I don't drink it. But what I would tell the person to find out what's in the water in their city or their town. I grew up in Jamaica where we used to drink rainwater. I don't know where you're from, but in Jamaica, the water used to be gathered through off the house top, through a little gutter into a drum, and then it would be stored in a clay jar. Okay? I'm 73 years old, so it's plenty years. That water didn't kill me, but what they say, when you know better, you do better. So I've now elevated my learning. I don't drink sink water. I know people who drink it after they boil it. So I would say to the person, if that's all you have, you're going to drink it, but I would say put some apple cider vinegar in it, or some fresh lemon in the water, because he doesn't know what is in the water in the city. So boil it and then add the apple cider vinegar to it, a teaspoon, and then put some fresh lemon in it as well. I support all human beings. My work does not require me getting into people's religion and their spiritual affiliation, nor their sexual orientation. My platform is a non-judgmental platform. I really am not interested in what goes on in your bedroom. I am seeing everybody as a soul. I don't care if you're male, female, because you are a soul, and I interact and relate to you as a soul, a human soul. Great questions. Yeah, we still have some time. I only have 44 minutes. So I'm glad you asked me to host with you, but tell them roll on in. How many people over there? Woo! Tell them I hope I have 7 new friends, or else I'm coming to find them. So they better be my friend. Yeah. I don't know. For my screen, it at the top is Daphne Clarke-Hudson 1. So come on with your questions, guy. Come on. I don't have anybody on my Facebook now, but they are going to come into my Facebook and I'll be able to see them later. So now I am talking with my TikTok family. So tell them come on in with the questions, roll on in. I'm loving that. You got some smart people. I have some brilliant people in my community. I love them. All right, we have 15 minutes, so roll on in. So come on, Brother Peyton. You got to fill it up when they don't ask anything. You got to ask. Where are you located? Why are you, Brother Peyton? Oh my God. Oh, congratulations. The lady who got me on TikTok is from Houston. Yeah, yeah. Yes, and it's amazing, you know how the universe operates, because when I clicked the live, I said I would not be accepting anyone who invites me for co-hosting because I'm broadcasting on Facebook. And I turned my eye and saw you, and the spirit said accept, and I accept. And this was destined to be. This was destined to be. You know? Cause this is the word. The world is too small, especially now with this pandemic. You notice how small the world has gotten. We are closer than we ever were, and we got to understand that. I read one of my colleagues' post. He is out of Florida, and he wrote 2 days ago. He said, last year during the pandemic, thank you so much for the flowers. Thank you so much, Sean. And he said he did 79 virtual events last year. I said, man, 79. And he was a brother who's always flying all over. But I'm sure he did not fly 79 times a year before. So, especially this opportunity that we can connect to see face to face, it's like I'm sitting having tea with you. You know? And it is bringing so much light into people. And people can see who you are and hear your voice and resonate with your spirit. This is what the world needs. This is what the world needs. Sending you love from Young's life. Oh, that's your life. Oh, hello. Listen, I will follow you guys afterward because I'm at 10 max. And I need to go in and follow some people who've been sitting and not doing anything so I could get you all in. Thank you so very much for coming over and showing me some love. Yeah. Yes. So I'm at 49 minutes. So we have what? 10 minutes? Let the questions roll. Hey, Prophet Joe, how are you, darling? Come on in, honey. I'm here with a handsome brother, Brother Peyton. And this is my friend. She's my moderator as well. So you guys follow her. She's from St. Louis, Missouri. And she and I met over in Periscope. We used to be on Periscope like 2 o'clock in the morning talking. She good people, yeah. Yes, how are you, my sister? You ready for the barbecue? I'm live on Facebook and I was doing tips for better self-care. You will catch that. Oh, Kansas City. I know it's somewhere in Missouri. I didn't do too badly. I got it close enough. Yeah, I've been getting some powerful questions, so I'm excited. So we have another 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Oh, Prophet Joy, I didn't even see you. She over there on Facebook too. I didn't see you. So now I see you over here. Click the share. I wanted to go live on Instagram too, and I didn't know how to do it, so I have to figure that out. So you guys, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I keep forgetting to tell people that. My YouTube channel, click on the link tree in my bio, and you will see my link tree to my Instagram and my YouTube. You have a first timer. Yeah. Yes, I have a first timer. And look how handsome he is. Huh? Yes, he's in the military too. Oh, that is too funny. And Prophet Joe, I had said I wasn't going to accept anybody to co-host. But I looked, and the Spirit said accept, I accept him. And he had good questions. His community had good questions. Yes. I'm a first timer here. Hello, my sister. What is it? Shannon? Thank you so much for the follow. Someone asked, what do you think about Black Lives Matter? What do I think about Black Lives Matter? I do not have any negative feeling about it. I support it in the fact that they are not out there spreading hate and anger. They are being assertive about the results that they seek. Listen, my age group and stuff, we sat down for years. We did not take a stand. We stay behind and we whisper. And these young people are coming out. They are being courageous. They are being bold. They have built the fortitude to get the result. And I honor them, and I pray for their safety each and every day, because they are building the world that when like my grandchildren come around, the world that we have now will be better. So I embrace them, I honor them, and every time I pray for their safety. Did I miss any question? I'm a first time. Black Lives Matter. First time here. Someone asked. Whatsoever what? What did I miss? Listen, I'm from Jamaica, West Indies, and our little center was a place called New Market. New Market, we have all Asian, we call them Chinese. That's just how we roll in Jamaica. So, we had the Chinese man. We had 2 Chinese shops. One of them owned the bakery, and they had a small grocery. And then there's a bigger one. He had a bigger shop, and he had more grocery stuff. And he sold some hardware things in there. He had a bigger shop. Then we had a Jewish man, and he had a place they called haberdashery. They sell material, they sell paint, they sell the pots and pans that you're washing and what you're cooking. Then we had a white Jamaican family named Cummins. Hey, Nicole, welcome, welcome. And they used to sell furniture. So, it was a diverse community. We didn't have no time to hate nobody, because all the natives, they grew the produce. They had to go to the Arab man to get the fertilizer and the chicken feed for the farm. And you know what? They didn't have any credit cards. So everybody would get to credit the things from all those different businesses you hear me talk about. And they write it in a little exercise book. You know, the little composition book, we call it exercise book. and they would write down what you take. When my parents did not go to the market, they would send me, and I would go. They ask me what I want. 5 pounds of flour, 2 pounds of sugar, whatever. And it is written in the book. And they pay that bill when they harvest and when they sell the things. So we were interdependent on each other. We didn't have no time to be hating anybody, because in that district we all needed everybody. All right? Did I miss any question, Prophet Joe? Anybody over there have anything? Yeah. So when do you, Brother Peyton, when do you go live? Okay. Okay. Ah. So you're a podcast host? Hey, I make a good podcast guest. You need to hook a sister up. Yeah, I need, DM me, send me your email, and I'll have my assistant send you my press kit. And when you DM me, I can give you my phone number, and you can talk to me and see. I think I make a good guess. What do you think, Prophet Joe? Don't you think so? Yeah. Yes, I used to have, I'm on hiatus now, but I had on Blog Talk Radio, I had my show for, God, 2009 to 2017 is where I stopped. So I had it for a long time. She's so funny. She said, yes, Mom. All right, guys. So my hour is coming up on Facebook. Hey, Brandon. How are you, my brother? You hit it home okay? You went home? You went safely home? I am on Facebook, Brandon, and also on TikTok. So I am going to be ending on Facebook in like 2 minutes, but I will remain here on TikTok and close out. Just get to know some people here a little. So, Brother Brandon, how is your day? Yes, I'm home safe. How is your mom? Your mom is okay? Yeah, I just did a broadcast, tips for better self-care. So, are we connected on Facebook, Brandon? You should probably check it out. And last night I did, when was the last time you show up for yourself? That was a good conversation. And on the podcast I did yesterday, I'm a billionaire and so are you. Withdrawing from your universal bank account. She's asking, what is your podcast about? Mm-hmm. Okay, just give me a minute. So, thank you guys on my Facebook. I want you to just go in leave your comments and remarks. And again, thank you so very much for joining me here on my Facebook Live. And I will be back tomorrow. Stay blessed and leave me your comments. Let me know how you resonate with this topic. Bye now. All right, it's so. I just